Hi, I'm Mike Massimino, and this is Inside the International Space Station.
Well, not really.
We never saw each other.
Maybe they got sick of me or
Yeah,
what?
so I can't cheat off of somebody.
My stuff's a wreck.
And we're going to talk with Joe Acaba and Sonny Williams about their upcoming space flight. You guys are going to be in space together, so I hope you guys seem to be getting along. You know,
It's because the cameras are on. And
yeah, so you guys obviously do get along, and if you're going to fight, do it in space. Don't do it here in front of the camera. But no, you guys get along. So, what has it been like for the two of you training together? How is that experience? Because you got, I guess, Joe, you were assigned first, or you both assigned? Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing together what your relationship has been like for the past however long it's been.
Well, I've been in training now for a couple of years, and I'm on what they call the A line. So I'm flying with two Russians on the Soyuz,
right.
And then Sonny's flying with the Russian, and then Aki, like we talked about.
Right.
So being on the A line and she's on the B line, we went for a good year. We never saw each other. I mean,
really?
I'm training by myself. Mm-hmm. Every now and then we might pass on the way to Russia and coming back. So it's just recently now that I even know who she is, and we get a little bit of training together.
All right.
Well, and seriously, like Joe was saying, and there's a lot of stuff in the program that you just have to learn from the beginning, and then you start doing complex stuff like working out emergencies and EVA spacewalks and robotics together. So in the last 6 months we started to do that because what we're going to do up in space is starting to be defined, and so possibly we might have some vehicles that we might have to grab with the robotic arm, or possibly we might do some spacewalks where there's a guy who's driving the robotic arm will drive the spacewalker around. So since that's getting defined, then we've started working together, and we're also getting close to the end of our training, which means launching on the Soyuz. And so we've both been backups now, and so we've been able to overlap a little bit in Russia with our Russian crewmates and understand what we're going to be doing up there like that too.
So this is it, because when Joe, you were on a shuttle flight, an assembly flight a few years ago. Was your first flight? So your first flight, you went up and down on shuttle.
But they dropped me off. Maybe they got sick of me or whatever. They kicked me out and they left me on the station.
Right, but that was the idea.
Right, it was the idea.
All right, it was a plan that way.
Right.
Did you think about did you plead to come back? No, I don't like it
I was
here.
thinking if I could swim over there, they might.
I don't like my room.
Exactly. No.
So, and you were there for 6 months or so? Okay,
yeah.
So, all right, so, like most of our flights have been, with a shuttle program, is you kind of bond with your crew as like a family beforehand.
Right.
And I guess, Joe, you of course went through that experience. Sonny, you kind of
a little bit at the end, about the last couple months, yeah.
Okay, so is this much different? It sounds like it's much different than that, is it? Or do you still get a chance to have that sort of relationship?
Well, I think for like we talked about, for the first year of training, you're doing your own thing, and then we put our offices together. The crew, Joe's crew, me and Aki, and then the crew afterwards, who me and Aki would fly with, which is Kevin Ford. And so we do actually get to sort of see each other. At least we all
we see each other's desk. We know where you sit,
notice who's a pig and who's not a pig. And that would be me. My stuff's a wreck, and their stuff's all neat. It's gross. Anyway.
See what happens. We'll see what happens in space.
I know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you get to see each other's habits a little bit, but that was pretty nice. And then more recently, as like I said, as our tasks are getting defined, we're doing a lot more ops together, and so we get to work with each other.
Right. So you still get like with the shuttle crews, usually your families get to know each other, and does that happen as well with you guys?
It's it is different.
It's different, but there's a couple times in the year, primarily in January and July, that all of the Russian crewmates are in the U.S. as well as all our other international partners, and it's sort of come to a head this last January. All of our crews were all here together, and so it was one of the first times where we all got to go out together. So we all had a little party together with a lot of other, folks the trainers and the flight controllers who work with us, and that was pretty nice. And that was like one of the first times we've done that in the U.S. In Russia, we get together a little bit because we live close by each other as the U.S. OS crew members, and so we have dinners together maybe once or twice a week. We watch movies together. We always have a beer together and stuff in Russia. But here, it's rare, and usually January and July are the only two times that we all get together.
Including the Russians.
Including the Russians,
And it's usually here, but over there you're able to.
At least
With the Marines as well, or just you guys?
It's mostly the
mostly
U.S.
U.S.
just us. You know, the Russian guys, like anybody, when you're at home, you got your family obligations and all that. So they kind of take off at the end of the day. But at least for the Americans, we're kind of stuck out there. You know, your opportunity, no family around. So we probably spent more time together in Russia than we did in the States, at least up to the last 6 months.
Watching football at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that's always good.
Because you got that big time.
Because of time difference, That sort of stunk this last season. We've been both of us have been over in Russia for most of the season.
You get up to work out. You got
Monday Night Football. I guess that's good. It's not so bad. You're not really having a tailgater. You're having the morning coffee instead.
Joe, for you, with what's been the differences between your shuttle experience and now going through this?
Yeah,
it's been a lot.
It's a lot different. You know, one thing you already touched on was the shuttle flight. You're with your crew of 6 or 7. Yeah. You see them every day, 5 days a week. You meet the families, every class you go to together. Now, probably 89% of my classes I'm by myself, so I can't cheat off of somebody else or ask for help. You got to stay awake the whole time because it's just you and an instructor.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's a lot more individual.
It's a lot more individual, until you get to those critical operations. And then the other is, we had our press conference last week, and when you have a shuttle flight, you know what you're doing. You're going up there, you're delivering this piece of equipment, this is your job.
Right.
And now it's like, well, Joe, what are you going to do up there? Well, I'm doing experiments, and everything shifts, the visiting vehicles, all the experiments we have. You don't know what you're going to do. So you got to be a lot more flexible, doing this than you did with the shuttle flight.
Interesting.